Hi, Tim Conti here with Cloud Collaboration Consultants based in Naperville, Illinois. For today's video, we're going to cover a couple of the steps in the evaluation process for a unified communication solution. This is a space that's growing at a pretty rapid rate. The pandemic has escalated that even more. Clients looking to unify their voice, video meetings, and messaging. Some of the key providers in this space are 8x8, Zoom, RingCentral, Microsoft Teams, to name a few. So what we're going to do is I should give you access and provide you with a service that is going to save you a ton of time versus doing the research on your own. This all starts with what's called our dynamic matrix. Think of this as a comparison chart, and what would normally take you um, hours to do research on your own, we've streamlined that process to do it in as little as a minute. So first and foremost, as you can see, we've got a pretty broad portfolio of providers that address the market today. But the goal here is to narrow down the list of providers for you, so you don't have to do this research on your own. So when we meet via video conference, first we're going to want to get an understanding of your geography and where your offices are located today. In this case, we'll choose Europe and North America. And you can see the minute I made those changes, these providers shift in order. Let's say that you happen to want to reuse a handset, Polycom, Avaya, Cisco. We'll choose Cisco for now. Most providers include a handset, a brand new one, IP phone as part of the subscription, but maybe there's an interest on your part to reuse what you've got. For CRM, obviously the most common one would be Salesforce, so we'll choose that, but you can see a list of 30 CRMs that are available. We have a lot of interest in clients wanting to integrate with Teams, so we'll choose that one. And then compliance, let's say that you've got an industry requirement compliance for, say, HIPAA. And then maybe you want to just evaluate the Gartner leaders. So then from here, we've selected our opportunity criteria, which is specific to you. And then we go over here and we generate this matrix comparison for you. And what this is here is we then compare the top, or we look at your evaluation and then bounce that off the 30 or so providers that are in the portfolio. And if they meet the criteria, there's a checkbox there. We can easily X out of providers that we're not interested in reporting on right now. But you've got this matrix. And in addition to your specific criteria being evaluated, there's 27 additional criteria with the Gartner Magic Quadrant, where their rankings are, what key acquisitions they made, where their data centers are, what their platform is, both their self-reported compliance, third-party verified compliance. I can go on and on. But what we do from this stage is we then package this up, PDF it, print to PDF, and then this matrix, we email it to you. This alone, what would take normally, 10 to 15 hours of your time minimum, was done in just a couple of minutes here. We've done it in as quickly as 1 minute on another video that we published. So pretty cool stuff. So we'll move out of there and we'll show you the next step in the process. After we go through the comparison chart that we send over to you, we've got what we call an interactive quick assessment. Now, what this does is it gets even deeper in terms of the requirements, as far as, that we only listed 6 or 7 criteria in that last one, but here in the IQA form, we send you a web link or we work on this together via video conference, but you take 7 to 10 minutes to fill out this form. Why you're considering UCaaS, what are your goals of the project, what's your current PBX, are you interested in remaining on the same platform, don't reuse your handsets, do you have work from home employees, your compliance, contact center, application integration. It looks like a lot, but it's really not. You can go through this in as little as 5 minutes where we do it together. But the goal of this form is when you get to the very bottom and you click submit, it goes to our team of subject matter experts, and that team then analyzes your specific data and then comes back with 3 providers that we feel are the best fit based on your inputs. This does a couple of things. One, it eliminates mistakes. You can go down the path of a provider and you might work with them for weeks only to find in the finish line they're not the right provider. That's what happened with a gentleman in my son's school. It's a co-op, and we were working on the school grounds and getting the school ready for the year. And we talked through, he's like, what do you do? What do you do? And we went back and forth, and he was in IT, and I was working for one of the primary vendors. And one of the challenges he had is he said, hey, I had to kiss a lot of frogs in the evaluation period only to find that they weren't the right fit. That spent tons of time, his team, having to then, retrench and then go back out and find the right providers based on specific requirements, such as integration with Salesforce and whatnot. This tool eliminates all that. It also just saves you time in general. So then from there, I've got one other thing to show you. We've got, in addition to the comparison and the IQA, we've got this really cool tool that we've got available called total cost of ownership. So obviously you're going to need to provide financial justification of your unified communication solution. So we come in here and say you've got 1,000 users, your current voice setup is SIP trunking, you do have a DR site for your phone system, and you look at your got some video conferencing users today, and it compares the current on-prem environment, everything from PBX cost to upgrades, the maintenance, voice usage, conferencing, install, support in the on-prem world and what that looks like, and then compare it to a UCaaS solution. But you're probably saying, hey, that doesn't sound exactly like my environment. Let's say your CFO wants to change the depreciation from 6 to 10 years. You change that, and all the numbers, the outputs then change. So you've got the ability to manipulate, and we together work with you to make sure the inputs are correct. That way, the output, which is the total cost of ownership, then is accurate, right? And then what's really cool, in addition to that, we output the results into a very professional presentation that you're able to share internally. What is UCaaS? Why are you looking at the solution? What are the industry trends? What are your peers doing? And what's the adoption rate? Why are they going in this direction? Executive summary of the cost savings, which is huge, the business drivers for unified communications, the tech benefits, and then the appendix is the numbers we put in. So if anyone ever asks, what variables we used, they're in here, and then you get a very detailed TCO assessment that breaks it down, and we provide all this for you. So with working in our the cloud collaboration consultant package, we include the comparison chart that's specific to you. We include the questionnaire that helps us determine who the right providers are. And then lastly, we provide you with a total cost of ownership. So that's today's presentation. I appreciate you listening. And if we can help out with your digital transformation journey, please reach out to us. And we look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.